There is one thing that keeps most entrepreneurs distracted, busy doing stuff that actually doesn't move their business forward. If you're new here, I'm Aaron, and I work with entrepreneurs, coaches, healers, and other conscious individuals to help them master their energetics so they stay on track with what actually brings the results they're looking for. So often, entrepreneurs keep really busy doing all of these different things that they think will move their business forward, when in reality, they're leaving out the most important parts due to a self-sabotage program. It might sound something like, I need to keep busy in order to be worthy, or my worth is tied to my output. So they'll stay busy, grinding, hustling, pushing, chasing, completing another launch, building a website, setting up whatever system they think they need to set up, all in avoidance of the value they have to offer. Now, I want to look at one specific example of this because I hear it all the time from nearly every young entrepreneur that I speak with. They'll be starting their business and they'll say, I'll be ready to launch just as soon as I finish up the last pieces of my website. Or I'm almost ready, I just need to put together this one more thing on a landing page and then I'll be ready to launch. But here's the thing, and I can say this because I built websites for over 15 years running a marketing agency and a web design company. What most entrepreneurs don't realize is that your website does not equal sales. I don't care how cool it is. I don't care how much color psychology you put into it or how much you pay the copywriter that's going to write the content of that website. Here's the thing. There's only 3 parts of a business. One is to create something of value. That's the product or service that you're offering. The other is to communicate that value to the people who need it in a way that allows them to take action. And the last one is the exchange, and that's where they click the button to buy or that kind of thing. Here's what most entrepreneurs get wrong. They try to put the website in the place of communicating the value to the client that they're here to serve. The problem is websites suck at communicating your value. I said it. Coming from a background of 15 plus years building, designing, and running a web design agency, websites suck at communicating value because they don't cultivate and build a relationship. True communication of value, true marketing happens when you build a relationship between you and your potential clients. You cannot facilitate this in a website effectively, especially if you're a young business and you're just getting started. It can work when you're at scale, when your product is well fleshed out and your market is extremely well defined, and you know the intricacies of your target audience inner language, so you can make your website truly speak the language of your clients. However, most entrepreneurs have not built the depth of relationship with their audience necessary to truly understand the language of the audience enough to build a website that represents it. When I finally understood this, I started directing my web design clients that would come to me asking me to build them a better website away from building a website, and instead we would do extensive work to understand their audience, not from guesswork, not asking them who their audience was, but by building real client success, working with their clients in depth, and gaining a true picture of the inner world of their clients. Then and only then do we build the website. The thing is, by that point, the business is already doing $20, $50, maybe even $100,000 a month before we ever think about building the website, because it's about the relationship. And if you can cultivate the relationship between you and your potential clients, between what you're offering and what your clients actually need from you, and you learn to speak their language, then you will outperform anybody that spends $10,000 on a website, and you will outperform all of the AI-generated websites out there today. The other thing that happens is as websites become increasingly easy to develop and create, anybody can spin up a website and anybody can look like they've got this great business on a website. It's easy. So people inherently don't trust websites anymore. Trust is built through a real relationship, not through a fancy landing page. The simplest, most boring landing pages, or even just a fucking Calendly link stuck in your bio, can outperform a ton of information on a website because it allows a relationship to be built. And that's what matters. And increasingly so in today's world with all of the AI fluff content that's not even real going around, it's becoming more and more important that you allow yourself to build a relationship between you and your clients. Drop the fancy logos, put your face up there, drop the scripted words, show up as who you are. Toss out all of the branding and the marketing and all of that stuff and just be you, build a relationship, and learn to effectively communicate your value. And you will go farther in your business than all of the strategies could ever take you. But so many entrepreneurs will keep themselves super busy. That subconscious program that says my worth is tied to my output, or I have to be busy in order to stay valuable, will leave them constantly reworking something like a website or some other aspect of their business. They'll constantly be launching and relaunching and never actually allowing themselves to be truly seen. Their throat chakra will remain closed. Their solar plexus will remain hidden. And the light within their heart is unable to connect to the clients that they're meant to serve. Now, I work with conscious entrepreneurs who are here to create massive impact. So if you've found yourself running around in a bit of a loop, keeping busy with a whole bunch of stuff in your business, but it's not building the relationship between you and your clients, it's not helping you bring your mission into service and express your impact through your throat chakra. If you find yourself in that loop where you're constantly chasing, launching and relaunching and then collapsing and then wondering what you did wrong and then trying to do it all over again, if that's the loop you've been living and you're ready to get focused on what actually matters, cut out all of the distractions and make the inner shift within yourself to become the individual that is hyper-focused on the results you can bring for your clients and building those impactful, effective relationships. If that's you, you need to be at the Embodied CEO's Source Code Activation event that I'm doing this week. The link to grab your free seat is right up here in my bio or right down here, and I'll see you there on the flip side.